Здравия желаю, товарищ капитан!
Ever since I saw this scene from the popular Russian film Ninth Company, the topic of Soviet Special Forces was of great interest to me. From the storming of Tajbek Palace, in which Soviet Spetsnaz of the Grom unit stormed the palace and deposed the Afghan government, blending themselves with local Muslim battalions to gain an upper hand, to the continuing operations in a decade-long war that eventually collapsed the Soviet Union, I'm going to be diving into the equipment and tactics that was used by them in the Soviet-Afghan conflict. Things to mention first. For every country, the equipment used by special forces is usually down to their own accord, so the equipment is varied. This is especially true for the Soviets at the time, which is why you'll see wild things like Adidas Gazelles or the 1980s Moscow Olympic variant made by Adidas for the Soviet market, the Moskvas, being worn and used in active operations in Afghanistan. Just like the name suggests, the Spetsnaz were used for specialist tasks and countering the hit-and-run tactics of the Mujahideen. They regularly conducted patrols along routes in Toyotas and Simurgh's pickup trucks. They preferred to use these as losses of state vehicles was frowned upon. However, no one cared if a pickup truck that was taken as a trophy was lost during an operation. They'd attach body armour inside of the vehicle as impromptu armour. The pickup convoys consisted of 3 to 4 vehicles, having 6 crew men each. Driver, commander, 2 machine gunners and 2 grenadiers. They would also have the option to bulk up their convoy for more dangerous operations, with 1 to 2 Ural trucks armed with Dushka 50 cal machine guns or 14.5mm KPVT attached to it, and a BTR. However, these vehicles would travel several kilometers back from the pickups as to not blow their cover. Insertion by helicopter to hot zones were also common. Now onto the personal equipment they used. Regularly seen are small arms AK variants with high-tech, for the time, NSPU night vision sights. The AKs were also outfitted with underslung grenade launchers and silencers. If you're wondering what the sight picture for these massive night vision sights are, it was incredibly poor by today's standards, but back then it was better than not having anything for the night at all. For clothing, a mix of Afghanka M88 uniforms, a mabuta, which was a special made Afghanka where the pockets were located on the front and not the sides of the leg, and it included a bayonet scabbard built in, KZS oversuits for more concealment, clothes from the locals to blend in, or a Gorka 1 mountain suit for rugged terrain. In cold weather, they used winter jackets that were sometimes seen with a Berezka pattern. These were KGB winter issue, and you'll see one in a moment. Headwear, they seem to have preferred soft covers like kepis or boonies, and if helmets had to be worn, they rocked the Swiss TIG variant helmets with covers. These are what came prior to and inspired the Soviet Altan mast helmet line. They avoided SSH-68 brain bucket helmets as they did little but provide some shrapnel protection. What does the equipment look like on someone? We've got a showcase coming right up. I hope you enjoyed this short but detailed look into Soviet Spetsnaz, their equipment, and a brief outlook on their tactics. Remember to subscribe and like the video for further content like this, and thank you for almost 100 subscribers. If this topic is something that you want to look into further, I suggest the docufilm Afghan: A Soviet Experience. If you are interested in getting some Soviet Afghan equipment, I do highly recommend you check out our store, paladinmilitarysupply.com, as currently we're having a payday sale and have a fairly large stock of original Soviet KZS oversuits, like the ones you saw in the video. Thank you and have a nice day.